Mercury represents the mind. It's the planet of intellect, communications, language, logistics. It represents our thirst for knowledge and our ability to learn. It's the messenger. It's how we get around. So wherever Mercury is in your chart will represent sort of how this works for you. For example, my Mercury is in Pisces, and for the energy of logistics and trying to get things done, Pisces is not exactly a great place for that planet, because Pisces is super dreamy and spacey and mystical and magical. So Mercury is a little bit like, what do I do here? So that gives you a little insight into how Mercury works for me. And you can find out for yourself too in your own chart. So it's a very important energy because it governs how we navigate and how we move through the world. So especially this day and age, Mercury has a lot of pressure on it. There's a lot more going on these days. There's a lot more movement and action and information that we're sharing together. So when Mercury goes retrograde, no wonder it gets a bad rap. There's so much expectation on doing and action these days that everyone blames everything on Mercury retrograde. So when people's phones act up, or emails aren't sending, or flights are delayed and we can't get where we need to be when we need to be there, we blame it on Mercury retrograde. But there's a really beautiful lesson here, and that's what I want to focus on. It's so fast and agile that ancient astronomers acknowledged Mercury as the universal influence that connects us to each other. And how do we connect? Communication, networking, sharing our ideas, our beliefs, coming together. So when Mercury goes retrograde and starts moving backwards, or so it appears to us on Earth, things get a little caught up. It can feel like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. It can feel like things just aren't flowing. It feels like the energy's getting a little caught up, and it's just, there's one mishap after another. There can be miscommunications, misunderstandings, signals getting crossed. Everything just takes a little more extra energy. But did you know that Mercury retrograde is actually just an optical illusion? Planets don't turn around and start moving backwards. Because Mercury, at its fastest pace, is one of the fastest planets, its orbit around the sun is 88 days, and ours is 365 days on Earth. So Mercury experiences 4 years to our 1. So what we consider Mercury moving backwards, Mercury retrograde, is actually when Mercury starts to slow down and Earth continues to orbit at its regular pace. Mercury is moving slower, so it appears to us from Earth to be moving backwards. But it's just an optical illusion. So this day and age, everyone and everything is moving so fast. There's so much to do and accomplish and get done. We're all trying to beat time. We're all trying to get more than 24 hours in a day. But when Mercury goes retrograde, its lesson is to just slow down and reflect. Old experiences from your past might show up. Exes, old friends, just past experiences that are going to reveal themselves to you, to give you an opportunity to heal them and review them and use them as lessons from where you are now. Things will not as easily move forward, so it's a really good time to release control. Just let go and meditate. Release old energies that don't feel good anymore. Review plans that you're making. Revamp, recharge your energy, rearrange your apartment, switch the energy up. Mercury retrograde just gives us an opportunity to stop and look back so that we can clean up things back there and then move forward with grace. It's a really great time to reconnect with old friends, resolve old issues, do some research, learn. It's just a really beautiful time to slow down and reflect. So before we get all worried about Mercury going in retrograde and how we have so much to do and it's going to mess everything up, let's actually just take this moment to use it for all the beauty that it does bring into our lives. So I created this earring in honor of Mercury retrograde. It's a representation of reflection, which is what Mercury retrograde is all about. So even though during Mercury retrograde, it's a great time to reflect, I feel like the energy of reflection is something we should carry with us in our daily practice. So this earring here is a symbolic talisman that can be worn to keep the consciousness of reflection in our lives every day.